friends, it's Jennifer from the patio. Welcome. If you are new to my channel, well, welcome. My name is Jennifer and I'm the creator of Jennifer from the Patio. If you are returning, I want to tell you thank you. I appreciate you. So today we are making a cute little craft. Yesterday, my husband came home and he goes, I brought you something. And I said, you did? And he said, yes. And I said, is it a bundt cake? And he said, no. And I said, well, I'm not sure I want it then. But anyway, he brought this out and he said, I had some file folders that needed to be cut down to size. Could you use them? And I said, sure. So I'm sitting here this morning and I was like, what can I do with them? And so this is what I came up with. Some cute little, I was resetting my timer. Some cute little just page embellishments. Okay, I got a sentiment and stamped it on there and then found some cute little picture that kind of coincide that went with it. And this one says collect beautiful moments with a camera. This one says be your beautiful self. This one is a coffee cup. It says ah. This one says don't forget to fly with the butterflies. Little heart one that says love with all your heart. This one says love you to the moon and back. And then I just took a little pen and just outlined the heart to give it a little extra interest. And then this one says focus on the good. It's got a little peace sign. And then this one is just I love the bicycles. And it says always take the scenic route. So look, we all have scraps and we all have words and sentiments and we all have little stamps, acrylic stamps. So that's what we're going to do today. It's just a fun little project. And so I thought we would just make a couple. And so I was using acrylic stamps on those. And so today I thought I would use some wooden stamps. So I'm going to do this one. And it says a perfect day. And then it has, you know, lemonade because it's summertime. And then this one is a bicycle, love bikes. And this one says a sunny hello. So I thought I would do those today with you guys. And we would just have some fun. So I cut a couple of these in half so that they would fit these sentiments. So what we're going to do first is we are just going to ink them. I mean, that basically, we have to get some background interest going. We cannot just have it blank like that. I mean, you could if you want to, but I'm thinking that I don't want to. So I'm just going to ink it just a little bit so that it doesn't look like a manila folder or a file folder. And it doesn't have to be really dark. So just ink these up. We'll just get those done. And you don't have to use, I'm using Vintage Photo. You certainly don't have to use that. You can definitely use whatever you want. You could even do more than one color. You could do lavender and yellow. I mean, how cute would that be? And I may do that. I just want to show you the technique. And then I know that the rest of the day I'm going to be making more of these because I just need some extra little page embellishments for my journals. And I thought, you know what? Thank you, hubby, for bringing those home to me and sparking my creativity to do something with them. Sometimes we think we just have to, you know, buy all the things when really we can just make our own goodies. We all have stamps, right? I mean, I know I do. Okay, so there's that inking. And so I'm also going to ink the pages that have to be big enough for the bigger stamps. And so I'm just going to tear this in half. Okay, and then I'm just going to ink this side. Might as well do all the inking at once, right? And I'm just going to do a little bit because I want them to look kind of similar in color. So they match a little bit. They don't have to be real dark, but it just gives it a little bit of interest in the back, okay? And I think those, yeah, that looks good. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take our strips, and I kind of just want to, excuse me, add a little bit of interest to the strip itself. And so I'm going to use my circles because I like them. I think they look pretty. And so I'm just going to line that up just like that. And they're going to be a little bit darker, which is what I want. So I'm going to push a little bit more, a little firmer down. And then they'll come out on the page a little bit darker than the background, which is kind of what I'm looking for. See? Just like that. And I like it. So we'll do this one, and I'll move it so that I won't have the same dot pattern. The same little bubble pattern on all of them. Not that it matters, because you're going to see different things on it. And we'll do that one towards the bottom. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm having a good day. I am. I try to have a good day every day, right? Positive energy. That helps. We don't always start out that way, but it's nice to try to end up that way. Okay, so I'm going to put those aside. And I didn't even start, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start it at 18. Let me make sure. Yeah. Okay, I've got 18 minutes left on the clock, and I think we're going to be done before that. So all we're going to do now is we're going to stamp. Look, this is a virgin stamp right here, ladies and gentlemen. I was at a thrift store, and my local thrift store, they had a huge bin of stamps, just stamp sets from Stampin' Up. Yeah, Stampin' Up. This is 2003. And I bought every one of them. It was a whole bin, but it was filled. And I think it cost me, I'm pretty sure it was $60. And I was absolutely thrilled because there is no way, it might have been 40, I don't remember, but it was just so stinking cheap. And there's just no way that I could ever have bought as many stamps that were in there on my own, you know, because they're just expensive. So if you don't have any stamps, go to your local thrift store. You know, we have a women's crisis center here, and I'm going to kind of pull it over a little bit. I'm trying to make sure that I get it because I'm looking at it from a different angle. And we have a women's crisis center here. We have Goodwill all over. You know, we have like 3 that we go to, 3 or 4. And so go and see. That looks good. Go and see what they have. We try to go once a week just to see what they bring in because you just never know. And I have found more stuff. Somebody in this area is getting rid of all of their craft stuff. Okay, so there's that one. And then we'll use the little small one for a sunny hello. For a sunny hello. Hello, come in. Okay, so I'm going to put it here. I have a piece of glass that I normally stamp on because this is spongy because underneath it I have one of those mats so that it doesn't move, and so it doesn't always come out, but I am A-okay with imperfection. That is part of crafting, right? Okay, so there are those 2. So let's go ahead and stamp the other 2 since I have my inks out. And we're just going to put, I'm going to do it this way. We're going to put this one here. And that way I can see on the edges. I was just having so much fun this morning, and I still am, and I'm not done. I'm not done playing. And I thought, well, let me turn the camera on so you guys can see what I'm doing, because it's really a lot of fun. I'm just making sure. Okay, so we are going to stamp right there. Put some pressure on it. Hold it down for a minute. Voila! Looks good. I'm just stamping the excess ink off over here, in case you wonder what I'm doing. This is my, let's take the ink off the rest of it, page, and then I will clean those later. And then now I'm going to do my bicycle. But I thought, you know what, I'll just come on here real quick and show you the technique, and then you guys can make some too. And then I'll continue the day making more for myself, because they're just so cute. And I'm telling you, and I know you guys do too. Tell me how many stamps you have. And I'm talking acrylic, or the clear ones, and then just the wooden stamps. I have hundreds, and I love to use them. I use my sentiments all the time, but in my journals, but yes, love it. Okay, let me stamp this excess off. And I could be stamping on some other paper that way I could cut them out, even though they're kind of the ghost look, but I'm okay with that too. But right now I'm just stamping off so that we can move forward. Okay, so that is all the inking business. And let me put the lid back on this, put that aside. And now I'm going to need my glue, because we are going to glue them together. So the perfect day is the lemonade one. And this is going to go over here like that. So I need to cut that in a square. So let me see. I'm going to go ahead and use my Tim Holtz. Then that way I know I'm getting it even. Let's just do it right there at 2 1/4. I'm going to take just a hair off this side. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I do want it to be trimmed down enough. So I'll get rid of the little extras. And then the bicycle. I will cut this one up. I'm actually using this as my guide. And then I'll take a little bit off this side. Yes, okay. And these are sturdy enough that you don't have to worry about them being flimsy. And then I want to leave this, you know. Oh, that goes over here. And then this one goes here. Let's round the corners, just to give it some extra pizzazz. Make sure I changed the direction of my camera so that I wasn't reaching out too far. And so I have my marker here, so I just want to make sure I don't go over too much. And then we want it to fit a page, so that's 7. So we may have to cut the end off, because a page is generally 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably would be 6, but we're going to have to bring this in quite a bit in order for it to fit the page. So let's cut this, because I'm making them for my journal, so I want to make sure they fit in. Okay, and then I'm going to get this as close as I possibly can. Mostly on the edges, not the... Whoop, this thing, it scares me because sometimes it just lets go, and I'm like, yeah. Okay, yeah. Didn't really need the height. I just needed the width to be shorter. Okay, let's see what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to be 6, but I think that is going to fit okay. It's going to be like right in the journal. Okay, so let's redo the little corners. And then we'll ink it because that's what we do. And it'll be harder to ink once you put it on. But I definitely think this is a cute idea. And you guys have probably already seen this. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing new under the sun, right? But if not, well, we have something new to do. That's fun. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just stick it on. And I'm going to do it in the middle. So I'm just going to do like this. And then I'm just going to put it right there. Looks like it's, yes, it looks like it's centered. Is it? It is. It's a little pulled, but that's okay. I like it. Okay, and then on this side, we're going to cut it right to, I apologize for reaching over. We're just going to cut it right to that edge. Look how cute that is. Love it. Love it. Okay, so there's one. So let's put that one up here. And then we'll work on this one that says, a sunny hello. Let's do the smaller of the edges, the punches on this one because it's a smaller one. Okay. And that'll be good right there. So let's cut the end off. And then we'll punch this. We can't punch it whenever... I found that out on the other ones as I was making it, that I couldn't punch it once I got it on there. So let's say this is going to go here. So I'll turn it over here and give me just a little bit of... And then I will... Oh, drop my scissors. But I didn't get injured, so that's good. Okay. And I'm going to ink this. So let's ink it up. And depending on what kind of stamps you have, you know, for the background or whatever it may be, yours are going to look... You might even have these Stampin' Ups set. This set, I think it said 2000 on it. So, and it doesn't have to be centered. I kind of like it. I think I'm going to do it just like that. Okay, so let's just glue this down. And I'm just not going to glue the top, so I'll stop about right here. And then we'll stick it down. Cute, cute. Just an added addition to any journal. Let me grab a journal that I have. And just a blank page. There's a bicycle. Look. A sunny hello. You could even make it into a pocket. You know, just do this on the bottom. There's two sides, and then you could have something else in there. How cute is that? Now, this one does stick out a little bit, so you could, you know, you could do it from the side. But I do have journals that are bigger than this, so. But isn't that cute? I mean, it's just an, look at this. These are just little added additions to, let me grab the other ones, to your journal. Look, see, that one would go cute. And the little bicycle, always take the scenic route. That would be cute. I love the little heart one, too. And these could be little belly bands. You could just make a little belly band and just put a small piece of paper in there, fold it up. How cute is that? I think they just make really cute little embellishments for your journal. And I would love this one as like a little belly band. And then you could just put something in it. But look, aren't they cute? Or just have it in the corner for interest. You know, on a journaling page, sometimes we need just a prompt, you know, something that kind of sparks something in us that we're like, you know what, whatever, just a sentiment. And so, but look how cute. I love them. So these are the ones we did today. Those are the ones I did this morning. I love them. I think they're just adorable. So I hope you like this project. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me for just about 15 minutes. I love little quick 15 minutes. Yep, 15-minute projects, because sometimes we just don't have a whole lot of time to watch a video, but we can be inspired with just a small little thing like this. So anyway, thanks for coming by. I hope you have a fabulous day. And remember, you only know what you know until you know something different. Bye-bye.